Namanda, 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 Namanda. 시간 불만소 세부조쇼가 가오무려고 우리나이세슈 우사이쇼비는 세부조쇼가 가시조분요 묘쇼초지포 극교리쇼원 세부조쇼가 미여진쇼네 조회슈본요 지금의조도 이쇼생민시 진리비엔나이고 부쇼무사이도 쇼조상금요 고사이슈양근한 아이비시에겐 메시코노랑 에이소부쇼아구도 스다스센슈콘 고소조만소 이요로지포 니치다스슈즈키 겐콘부겐 이슈카이호소 고세쿠도부 조오다이슈즈 세포시시쿠 구요이사이쿠 구소슈도구원 안내시스조만 도리상가요 요수계치 스다스미부쇼 강가구에리 도시사이쇼성 시간약고가 날센오감도 고구쇼텐니 오진요해 40 and 41. Pages 40 and 41.
So we will go through it once. If you feel comfortable, feel free to join me. If you just want to listen, feel free to do that. And then we will do Japanese and English once more. So it's just verse 1, starting in Japanese and then in English. If the organ works. Again.
Please sing, Manny.
Three treasures. Number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda.
Now Reverend Fujimoto will share a Dharma message with us.
That song was fun, wasn't it? Nice to have someone who can actually sing. Okay, so today, let's see. I shared a Dharma talk with the young ones earlier today, and I have this same story for you with a little bit more added. And it's from a friend from the Chicago temple. Okay. And his name is Roger Choekama. So the title is 3 Questions for Buddha. Okay, 3 questions for Buddha. So one day in this story, there's a young man and he didn't have a home, he didn't have a place to live, and he's living kind of on the outskirts of town, and he had a little tent and sleeping bag and a box full of his goodies, things that he had purchased, things to eat and things like that. And so he was living out there kind of like a homeless person, and wasn't that old. And as he was sitting there looking into his food, he found a mouse stealing his food. So he asked the mouse, "Why are you stealing from me? I'm a homeless man. Why don't you go steal from somebody who's rich?" And so, why can't you steal from a rich man instead of someone like me? And the mouse said, "This is my destiny. I live in this area. This is where I should live my life." And so the homeless man asked him, "Well, what's my destiny?" And Mouse told him, "I can't answer that question. You should go find the Buddha and ask the Buddha that question." So he was determined. He was going to find the answer to his question. He's going to find the Buddha. So he went off on this journey. And the young man, he took off, and after walking for hours, he thought it was time to rest, and he's on the outskirts of another town. And there he found a small cottage, and he went nearby, and he saw the couple that lived there. So they come out and they talked a little bit, and he told them about his trip, his journey to find his destiny. And they thought he was a nice young man, so why don't you come and rest, stay with us, and start again in the morning. And so as they're talking about his journey and how they came to live there, they said, "Well, we have a daughter, and she's not able to speak. So we keep her here at home, and we take care of her. Maybe you can ask the Buddha, how can we help her so that she can speak, she can come to be able to speak and live a normal life." So he said, "Okay, thank you for letting me stay here." So he went on farther down his journey, and he met a wizard. It's not your normal story, is it? So he met this wizard, and so he telling the wizard about his journey to find his destiny, and the wizard told him, "Well, I have a question too. I've lived for 1,000 years. I have special powers out of this staff. But what I really want in my life is to reach the Pure Land. Can you please ask the Buddha, what can I do to reach the Pure Land and gain what I truly want in my life? So the young man said, well, okay, I can ask the Buddha that. And so he went on his journey. Till now he had 2 questions to consider, and he made his way to a river, and as he's resting by the river, he noticed a turtle, a giant, real large turtle. So he's talking to the turtle, and he told the turtle about his story, about finding his destiny, and so he's sharing that with him, and the turtle told him, well, I've lived a good life, a really good life. I've lived for 500 years. But what I really want is to be a dragon. So, wow, okay. So why don't you please ask the Buddha, what do I need to do to become a dragon and fulfill my true wishes in life? So the young man agreed, and he continued on his journey. So finally, after days and days and miles, he came into this clearing, and over to one side he could see there was the Buddha sitting in meditation. So he went over to the Buddha and told him that he's on this journey to find his own destiny. And on the way he met some others, and I have these questions. I have questions for you. So the Buddha told him, I can answer 3 questions for you. So you decide what you would like to ask. So he thought about it, and going over what he had gone through, thought about the turtle who had lived for 500 years, and the wizard who lived for 1,000 years, who wanted to reach the Pure Land, and the family who had the daughter who could not speak. So thinking about all these things, he decided to ask the questions from the turtle, the wizard, and the speechless girl, and left out the question of his own destiny. So he presented these 3 questions to the Buddha, and the Buddha answered. Said the turtle is unwilling to leave the comfort of his shell, and this is why he cannot become a dragon. He needs to leave his shell. And then he's talking about the wizard. It's because he has this magical staff. He doesn't want to let go of his powers. So really he's hanging on, clinging to this staff so that he has these special powers as a wizard. Tell him to let go of the staff and he'll be able to find his way to the Pure Land. So then on the young girl, it says, the young girl will be able to speak once she meets her soulmate. So he wasn't sure what that meant, but he said, oh, thank you, Buddha. And he went on. So on his way home, he made his way and he saw the turtle again and told him, I asked the Buddha your question, and this is what he said, and that you have to remove yourself from your shell and you can become a dragon. So the turtle came out of his shell and he turned into this dragon, and he was so happy. So he took his shell and he filled it with pearls. So I don't need my shell anymore. You can have this shell and all these riches. So then he turned into this magnificent dragon and flew off into the sky. Then the young man came into seeing the wizard again, and he told the wizard what the Buddha had said. He says, because you have your staff, you don't want to let go of being a wizard. So the wizard understood those words. He said, here, you take this staff. I don't need those magical powers. I much rather go to the Pure Land. And so the young man took the staff, and then the wizard was able to make his way to the Pure Land. So now the young man is rich, and he had the powers of a wizard. Continued on his journey, and then he went back to the cottage where the family lived. And he told them all about the journey, how he met the wizard and the turtle, and then he talked to the Buddha, gave him the 3 questions, and he's on his way back. And so as they were talking, the daughter came down the stairs and said, "Oh, is that the young man that was here last week?" She could speak, right? So in the young man, she met her soulmate, okay? So the question to the young people were, if you had 3 questions or 1 question that you could ask the Buddha, what would it be? Okay? So they have this assignment to think about it. Maybe they can tell me what their question is next week or a month from now. Okay? So sometimes when I give these sermons, Dharma school will be here, and then they leave, and the adults come, and then I give the adult sermon, and afterwards, a few times, the adults would tell me, "I like the first sermon better." So they would rather hear the kid's story than the adult's hoa. Okay, so I thought I'd talk a little bit more about this story. The 3 questions that he came to ask the Buddha. So thinking about the family, the daughter was unable to speak. Right now we have our fall series of classes going on, and this is one reason we chanted the Ju Sei Ge today. In the class, we're looking at the Ju Sei Ge, what the meaning is and what it's connected to, that it's part of the larger sutra and this and that. And so learning about this Ju Sei Ge, a little bit about what it means and things like that, And so in the class, the actual class, people were speaking up and how they come to appreciate a little bit more the connections they feel when they chant, when they go to service, maybe feeling connected to the women. She chanted the Ju Sei Ge at a conference, a women's conference, and not only the Sangha members, but maybe 200, 400 women are chanting the Ju Sei Ge, and it's so powerful, resonating off the walls and having that feeling connected to all these people. And then feeling also maybe even connected to people in the past that had been chanting this, maybe her mother, grandma, grandpa, so our parents. So we feel these connections that as we chant, we feel this connected to other people. Maybe we know, maybe we remember, maybe beyond that, right? And connected to people in the future who will be chanting this long after I'm gone. And this feeling of connection that they were able to talk about and convey during the class, in another voice saying, she appreciates hearing these, when you talk about feeling this connection, but I've chanted this and I don't feel that. I don't feel that, How I want to learn, how can I have that feeling too? What do I need to do? And I kind of told her, well, you're trying to study it and you're still really in your head. So it's kind of, you feel these things, and it's this visceral sense, not knowing about the chant, but feeling this chant and these connections. It's not something you recognize here, right? It's something deep in yourself, in your soul, that you are able to feel and connect with. So trying to relay that to her, right? So she's part of the class, but kind of missing, not getting something. What is it that I'm not getting? So having that sense. Okay? So in the story, the first couple, providing a shelter, a home for their daughter, they want more than that. They want her to have a full life, a meaningful life, being able to speak, being able to meet someone, to have her own family, and all these things. And so we have different difficulties too. Maybe we have, or growing into physical limitations as we get older, right? Maybe mental limitations as we lose our memory, things like this, right? Or maybe health conditions. Maybe we do have learning disabilities or things like this, and so we have difficulties too. Maybe we know people who have whatever substance abuse with drugs or alcohol, all these kind of things that we struggle with in our own lives. Okay, so the family in the cottage, that's me in my cottage, right? I have these kind of difficulties in life. It's not just some cute little story about someone else far, far away, but we have these kind of difficulties. Right? Yesterday, I was at a funeral, and at every, funeral, this was not just a Buddhist funeral, but mixed, maybe half were Christian, half were Buddhist. I even asked them, how many of you are not Buddhist? And all these hands come up, and I kind of gauge how much explanation I might want to provide. Maybe they're very unfamiliar with the Buddhist service and what we're doing. We're doing the chanting that they don't recognize and things like this. And so I try to explain. And coming into a Christian group, kind of sense a little bit that they're prepared to cry, and at a Buddhist service, of course we feel grief and sadness when we lose our mother, our parent, grandma or something, but at the Buddhist service, we're shifting not just, oh, poor me, I lost something, but we feel our connection because I had mom, because I had dad or grandma. I learned so many things. We shared so many times, and to be able to recognize that my life is richer. Because of that, I'm even here to be able to live. So I have this opportunity at life. And so you step beyond your grieving and you're able to reckon. You can't be grateful unless you see these connections, right? If you're crying, you're thinking about my loss. I lost somebody. And so at our Buddhist services, I like to think we're trying to guide people to step further than just your loss, your grief, yours missing someone, to step beyond this self-centeredness to connect to all else. And that's the process that we go through as we go through loss, as we go through life. Okay. In the story today, the wizard had this infinite life, magical powers. This is something we would want to have, but he wanted something more, something settled, to find what does the Pure Land mean? What is the Pure Land? Okay. And in the class and in our teachings, we're taught repeatedly that we have our three poisons, our bonno, and this is limiting our appreciation of life, our recognizing this interconnected universe that we are a part of. Okay? So even though I'm sensei, still I want to win the lotto, right? I want to get things, right? I told you about how my car got damaged, right? And so we went through all this stuff that one day someone knocks the mirror off my door. So I take it to the garage. Just the very next day I had a oil change scheduled. So they kept the car, they looked at the damage, they did the oil change, and I had all this duct tape all over my mirror. And so they finished and parked the car on the street like they usually do. And they call me when they're done, end of the day. Dennis, I have good news and bad news. The car's done, that's the good news. Bad news is hit and run, somebody else hit your car. So the exact same mirror, somebody hit again. And then they smashed the first door and the second door. Now I need all this body work done besides. So through that, the shop is going to take on some of the body work, and we wanted some other things patched up. So over a week, I have this rental car. We don't have the regular car, so limited. So finally, after all that, hardship and cost as well, right? Now I have my car back. It looks clean and beautiful. I don't want to park it on the street again. So I open the gate every night, every morning, and park it in here. It's 20 years old, but I treat it like it's gold, brand new car, right? So at least it looks good, right? Yeah. But we have bonno. That's my attachment. I want to protect my cars. Don't park next to that guy. He's going to open the door and just slam it against your door. And very, very careful. So we have all these things that we continue to be attached to, connected to, and these are the three poisons coming up. And the lesson in our form of Buddhism is that we have these. We have these. What can I do to get rid of them? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. That's your human condition. That's my destiny, to live with these three poisons. Okay. So I think even though we have these attachments, these bonno, they say, nevertheless, the Buddha is embracing us, welcoming us. Okay, and this is the infinite compassion flowing through the universe. We are told, come as you are. Sono mamma, come as you are. That we are embraced by the Buddha. Okay? Even though, not because I got rid of my bonno, blind passions, attachments, but even though I have those, I'm still embraced with the wisdom of the Buddha. Okay? So, what if on your journey, on our journeys, we're able to come to a place where people weren't so ego-driven. Instead of pushing each other out of the way, they help each other. Instead of sitting alone in isolation, they get together, they share time, they share thoughts and things. What if we're able to come to a place where the words of the Buddha float all around us, a place where the sounds of the Dharma float through the air? It might look kind of like this. Right? Welcome to the Pure Land. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Manda Namanda. Hi, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sensei, for your Dharma talk. We will now please stand for another new Gatha with Gassho from the heart. This should be a handout you received. Maria will lead us again. Barbie Wong was so kind to make a recording that we're going to sing along with. Hopefully that plays without a hitch.
Yeah, you're just gonna play. Okay.
Twice.
Once through.
Yeah.
Okay. So same format. You're welcome to sing it first, but we'll go through it twice. We did try this before and it worked fine. Acapella. While we're waiting, there's one thing on page 3, the last line. There's a bit of Portuguese in there, so don't get too scared. I don't know if I pronounce it right either. I just listened to the pronunciation that other people did. What did you do? Of course.
This was made for the World Convention, so that's why there's English, Portuguese, and Japanese. So, just so you know.
All right, here we go.
Here we've come together, some from near and some afar, in spite of all our differences, we reach for the same bright star, and on this human pathway, we may err a step or two, but always will remember to feel deep gratitude and hear and say the numbers as we rush up with hands placed together. Without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. With Kasha from the heart, Kasha Corazon, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. As we rush on with hands placed together, without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. Kasho shibasho, utai masho, namo amida butsu. Namo amida butsu. With Kasho from the heart, with Kasho from the heart, Namo amida butsu. Namo amida butsu. Here we've come together, some from near and some afar, in spite of all our differences, we reach for the same bright star, and on this human pathway, we may err a step or two, but always will remember to feel deep gratitude and hear and say the numbers as we usher with hands placed together. Without a shred of doubt, we joyfully receive the truth. With Kasha from the heart, Kasha Corazon,
With Kasha from the heart, with Kasha from the heart. Amida Butsu, Amida Butsu.
Please be seated.
I think that went surprisingly well. Beautiful song. We'd like to thank everyone who helped with the altar preparations today and with the service. Thank you, Reverend Dennis, for your Dharma talk, Brian working the YouTube, Jane for our flowers, organist Lenny, and also Barbie via recording, and and Maria as well for leading the songs. Are there any newcomers or visitors today? Could you please stand and introduce yourself? Thank you, Leanne. We have a few announcements. Next Sunday, October 19th, the ABWA and Ladies of the Dharma Memorial Service will have a guest speaker, Reverend Yukiko Motoyoshi. Is a retired BCA minister. That'll be followed by an ABWA luncheon at the Park Street Tavern. Today is the last day to RSVP. You can speak with Gail or Jackie by email, phone, or text today if you want to RSVP. We're asking that each person donate $25 to help defray the cost of the luncheon, and that can be paid the day of. Sunday, October 26th is our family service. There'll be a Dharma School Halloween party. If adults want to dress up too, maybe. And a reminder, the ABWA annual fall food drive is in effect until Ho'onko, November 16th. We're doing monetary donations only, no actual food, please. You can donate online to the Alameda County Community Food Bank or write a check to ABWA, and it will be divided evenly between the city and county of Alameda food banks. I believe there is a box here up front you can also just put some money into when you come to Oshoko. Also, this is birthday Sunday for anyone having a birthday in October. Is anyone an October birthday person? I see someone. If you would come forward. You can Oshoko, and please remain afterwards. We want to get everyone's picture.